social and political commentary from a Christian male perspective.
Inevitable. We got to talk about this this water park. So Tiffany has dropped 2 new, I don't even want to call them videos, because or receipts, if you will. They're super short. I'm like, and they're old. That's the thing that I don't get. Like, these are old videos. This is old information. It's not new. So therefore, you could have dropped this last week. You could have dropped this last month. You didn't have to drop this, 2 days before election when people have already voted and stuff. So we're going to pull up the water park one first. I don't think anybody is making the argument, by the way, and it's super short. So we're going to just watch it and then we'll run it back and then kind of make commentary. I don't think anybody's making the argument that Tiffany did not spend money. I don't think that's ever been the argument, that Tiffany didn't spend money. I don't think anybody's arguing that. It's, what does she spend the money on? Example being, I think most people have heard that the skating rink, does anybody know how much the skating rink allegedly costs? Can y'all put it in the chat if you know how much the skating rink, how much the skating rink costs? And I just want to bring up something here. Okay. I see some numbers popping in. 1 million. Yeah. Let me see if anybody else has a number closer to that, or okay. Most people are saying 1 million. I heard 1.2 million, but let's not split hairs, right? Okay, 1.3. There we go. Yeah, I've heard some pretty loud numbers, if you will, for what effectively is a paved, surfaced tennis court. I mean, that's all it is. And dog, go ahead. And dog, thank you so much. 5 more people are being blessed. Y'all go ahead. If you got a membership from N-Dog, y'all go ahead and drop that little green heart in the chat and say thank you. Thank you, N-Dog. Oh, mercy. Why?
Hello.
What have I done wrong?
Nothing.
Why?
Come here, give me a kiss.
Why are you behaving in this manner?
Give me a kiss. Yay. 408, pretty fire.
You're fire. You're pretty fire. Why art thou in here?
Because I came to say hello.
You said what?
Came to say hello.
Oh, okay. Hey, tell me what the temperature is on the grill. Because the chili's in there. Chili's on there. Just tell me real quick. Hold on, y'all. Sorry about this. Okay, so it's going down. Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to go get it off of there when I get done. Thank you, baby. Well, thank you so much. President Firstborn is making an appearance. Yeah, I heard 1.3, 1.2. Oh, either way, 1.2, 1.3, even a million. Is it not weird to anybody else that a water park only costs $600,000? To me, a water park would be way more intensive, way more labor, way more service. There's so much more intricacy involved in that, because this ice rink is not like a indoor ice rink that's real frozen water, frozen surface. You got to get a Zamboni out. Nothing like that. It just seems weird to me that this would be a $600,000 investment, whereas a skating rink was only 1.2, which actually double that. That's just weird. Now, I do think that it's also very, very interesting. All these receipts that Tiffany is dropping is showing that other people are telling her not to spend money or impeding her ability to spend money. Not what have you been spending money on? She never actually answered. Now, Bo Brindley said, her lawyer said that Lori Lightfoot was wrong, but she never said that. She's never actually said that Lori Lightfoot was wrong, that there was no, she won't talk about the Amazon, but she didn't talk about any of the other spending that, like, for example, the skating rink. She didn't talk about that. She doesn't talk about anything else. It's just wherever she can find these quote unquote receipts, wherever there can be some kind of wedge drawn between, she then will highlight that. not highlight the fact that, I'm not actually supposed to be spending this money. But let's see what this is about. Let's go.
So I am asking again the board to support $600,000 coming to our community to build up our community.
Well,
why would we not support that? Every time we put in a grant, you want to know that we put it in, but we're working. And I don't mind you guys knowing it if you guys will work with me and stop working against me. That's all I've asked this board to ever do. So I'm asking again, can you please support the grant for the $600,000 so we can give them the resolution so we can receive the money for the kids district? Let's call the roll.
Trustee House,
no.
Trustee Norwood,
No.
Trustee Steve,
No.
Trustee Holmes,
Aye.
Trustee Belcher.
No. Now y'all see how this game
Motion
goes.
failed.
$600,000 y'all gonna pass up. That's crazy. That's crazy as hell. I ain't never seen nothing like that. But anyway.
I just thought about it. They use copyrighted music. Doggone it. I forgot that they like using copyrighted music in their stuff. I hope I don't get this removed. Okay. So I'm just going to mute it, and I'm going to mute it and let it just play. All right. That's the Anti-Justice League right there. Yesterday, I removed the music and reset it, and I totally forgot. So that means they probably have it on this other video as well. I don't know it's copywritten exactly, but I don't want to set myself up. So I'll find out okay. So that's that. All right. Now I'm gonna run it back because I think it's interesting. A lot of people commented, how are you building a water park when you owe Chicago water? Like it would, sure. If I gave you a very expensive luxury premium sports car, sure, I'm giving you a $600,000 car, but it's going to cost you $2,000 to change oil. Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna be able to drive to the grocery store. You can barely sit you and your husband in there, you and your wife in there. But it's not really a blessing when you really start, and the insurance is gonna be astronomical. The maintenance is gonna be ridiculous, but you got it for free. Like, this is the exact same thing here, in my opinion, that she's doing, or rather that's being applied here. Sure, they're giving you a grant to build a water park, but you owe money. You owe Chicago for water already. Like, that might not be a good look. That might not be a blessing. Maybe pay the water off first and then come back and holler at me. Because there's going to be maintenance that goes along with this. It's not just a net zero. Sure, they give you $600,000. I don't think, to me, a water park seems like it would be way more expensive than $600,000. Even if it's one of those new modern, like what they call them, splash parks, where it's not like any water, pools per se, is lots of sprinklers and stuff like that. Those are pretty cool, man. A lot of kids enjoy those, especially when it's hot outside. They're great. But that's a lot of water that goes in there. There's a lot of maintenance that goes in there. There's a lot of other catches that are going to come and play that I don't think you're factoring in. So for them to say no to that, I don't see that as being a problem at all. Maybe they're thinking like, hey, we owe Chicago, a couple $1 million on water. We don't need to be building water parks. But even more than that, Tiffany, that's not the biggest issue. Nobody is not going to vote for Jason House, or nobody's going to not vote for you because they didn't get a water park. I don't think anybody, maybe I'm wrong, I don't think anybody in Dolton respectfully is going to do that. I think what they are going to say, however, is you're not answering the questions about stuff that we really do know. Because this is money that was never spent. That's fine. That money wasn't spent. That's fine. But we want to talk about the money that was spent. What about that money? How about that? Can you talk about that? That's what I don't think. That's the part that's just like totally like I can't get how you're missing this. How's that going over your head, Tiff? That's not a receipt. But this is not a receipt. I mean, there's tons of stuff. Insurance. I see people talking about lifeguards, chemicals for the water. I mean, this is not going to be a net zero. Oh, we got $600,000. We built the water park and it's never going to cost you anything else. No. Electricity, water pumps and maintenance. Come on. Like there's a lot of other expenses that come with it that you might not be able to afford and you really maybe shouldn't have taken on. Why? Because you took the $600,000. It comes with more. The muscle car comes with more. And this is the other thing I want to talk about Tiffany, because we're going to look at the other video with Sam Brown. And this is something I'm noticing. The more she shows that the trustees weren't working with her, it actually shows less about her ability as a leader to work with people that are difficult. We all have difficult family members. We got difficult neighbors, difficult coworkers and such. And the true leader is able to deal with people that are difficult. You know, maybe Bob over there in accounting, he has it out for you. Your HOA, they're just a bunch of crazy people. And you're able to deal with them and work with them, even though they might not have your best interest in mind. Maybe they don't. Maybe they want to really, truly take your job, but you still got to work with Bob in accounting. You still got to work with your coworker. You still got to work with your HOA. And Tiffany doesn't seem to me to be somebody that's easy to work with. And at some point, you're going to have to say, okay, if I am the quarterback of this team and every time I throw the ball in this direction, the person I'm throwing it to is not there, maybe you shouldn't throw the ball there. Maybe it's the quarterback's fault, not the running back, not the wide receiver, not the tight end. Maybe it's the quarterback's fault. You, Tiffany, maybe you need to come up with another play to work with everybody so that you all can be successful. It's not just, let me get 5 more people in here and I'll be able to win the team. Maybe you can make that argument on some other sports, but maybe you can deal with the team that you have right here. It's starting to come across like she's not able to work with people. And these receipts that she's dropping are only exacerbating and accentuating the fact that she's difficult to work with, that people don't want to work with her. Good, bad, or indifferent. Maybe they all have ill motives. Maybe they all got pure as a driven snow motives. I don't know. But one thing we know for a fact is they don't want to work with you. Why do they not want to work with you? That should be the question that you ask. And that should be the question that you try to finesse, you try to move and help people come across and see what, because, you know, I'm telling you right now, the high end of comedy would be that Tiffany Henyard wins and all of the other trustees win as well. Her anti-justice league, they fail. And let's just say Jason House doesn't win. Let's just say that the anti-justice league, they don't get. But she gets back in, but she got Kiana and Ed Steve and all these other people. She's going to have to learn to work with people. And it doesn't seem like she's able to work with people. And these receipts are only really highlighting and pointing the light on the fact that you're difficult to work with. It's not primarily them. It's you. You're the problem. Somebody said right here, and this is a great example. You win a car in a fundraiser, then you find out you have to pay the taxes and registration fees on a $600,000 car. Right. Right. That's it. So it's not a blessing. When you see them, what's that, Family Feud, when they win that car, that's not a blessing for some people, especially if they broke. It's not a blessing. But I digress. I'm thinking that Tiffany doesn't realize she is the problem. And I saw right here, the common denominator is you, Tiffany. Now, by God's grace, you'll be elected out, you will be kicked out, and you will no longer be the mayor. I think the highest level of comedy would be, again, if Tiffany gets back in office and all the other trustees are elected in. That would be, I'm telling you, that would be the best comedy. Because again, it is nothing's going to, the issue is not Kiana. Now, we can make some arguments, and I've seen things, read things, and it's such of that nature. Sure, these are humans. I'm not expecting them to be perfect. I'm not saying that they're without flaw. Not saying that. I'm not saying that the Anti-Justice League will not ever do anything right. Not saying that. What I am saying, however, is the issue is that Tiffany is difficult to work with, and the trustees ain't studying you. Because it can't be that everybody's just wrong. You go over to Thornton Township, all of them are wrong, but you're right. Okay. We'll go over to Dolton. You're right, and everybody else is wrong. It just seems like, man, it just seems like a common denominator is you. All right, let's bring this video back. And I might stop a little bit, but I think it was pretty straightforward. And again, it's just a big missed opportunity to work with them rather than work against them. Let's go. Yeah, is anybody in Dolton saying that they did not spend enough money? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
So I am asking again the board to support $600,000 coming to our community to build up our community.
Well,
Why would we not support that? Every time we put in a grant, you want to know that we put it in, but we're working. And I don't mind you guys knowing it if you guys will work with me and stop working against me. That's all I've asked this board to ever do.
okay. Again, work with me, but are you willing to work with them? It is different. It's not just moving the pronouns around. You have to work with them. And maybe, do you know, Tiffany, why they voted against it? And I'm willing to say she doesn't, because when they vote, listen to how her response is. It's not like, yeah, I understand. Yeah, they told me before that, you know, they were concerned about the water bill. They were concerned about chemicals. They did the research and saw that these pumps are, you know, $100,000 water pumps. And we really would be in trouble if we had a $100,000 water pump go out and such like that. Yeah, I kind of understand. She doesn't understand because she's not considering other people. And I'm going to say something super duper 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 unpopular. A lot of people are probably going to want to get us. Before I say it, can y'all just please make sure that you hit the like button, at least help your boy out, because y'all going to be mad at me in a second. That's because she doesn't have a husband. I'm not saying that every woman needs a husband, but I think right here, the marital relationship is a give and take. You and your husband, you and your wife, y'all are always negotiating. Y'all are always working through stuff and such like that. And you are not, I am not the end all be all. Now, I will bounce ideas off my wife if she says she thinks we should go another way. I might say, hey, we're going to go in this direction and whatnot. And they understand. But I'm willing. Look, I know I married a very brilliant woman, and that's why I did, because I know I don't know everything. Tiffany doesn't have anybody to bounce ideas off of in her home, and therefore she's used to, very comfortable with being the end all be all. The buck stops here. I have all the information. She can't have all the information. You can't be the smartest person in the room. And I think because she don't have a spouse. She got a rent-a spouse. She got somebody else's husband. And because of that, I think that's where she really just like brings in all of that I got somebody else's husbandism into the equation, and she's not able to work with people in a reasonable and meaningful way because she doesn't do it at home. DearWokesee@gmail.com. Let's go.
So I'm asking again, can you please support the grant for the $600,000 so we can give them the resolution so we can receive the money for the kids district? It's called the raw.
Trustee House,
No.
Trustee Norwood,
No.
Trustee Steve,
No.
Trustee Holmes,
Aye.
Trustee Belcher.
No. Now y'all see how this game
Motion
goes.
failed.
$600,000 y'all gonna pass up. That's crazy. That's crazy as ever. I ain't never seen nothing like that. But anyway.
So instead of finding out why, instead of entreating, like, okay, let me figure out like what, and again, I don't think this was the right place to do it, but I don't think, I have no reason to believe that she did, in fact, reach out to them and entreat them. I got no reason to believe otherwise that she did do that. So that being the case, I think that's the big missing piece. is that she herself, as the captain of the team, is not willing to, she's not willing to entreat the people on the team to work with the vision and augment it and say, okay, maybe we don't need a splash park. Maybe the splash park was a little bit audacious. Maybe it would cost too much, so on and so forth, because we got these, $100,000 pumps, and there's going to be 5 of them. If one of them goes out, we're going to have a problem in a couple of years, and that might be problematic. And we owe Chicago something $1 million for a water bill. Yeah, maybe we don't really need to do that. But there's no entreating. There's no, give and take. It's all or nothing. We take the $600,000 to build the water park, or kids are going to be starving and kids are going to be evaporating because they're not going to have water, a water park or whatever. That's just a little bit too much. That's a little bit too hyperbolic for me. And like, Tiff, that doesn't make any sense. All right, I got 2 more. Shout out to Mandy. Mandy sent me a video, and I said, you know what? I need to pull this up. Let's check it out. Let's go.
Arrests for individuals involved. I will be pressing charges. It's a lot. And that's just me telling you a little bit.
I'm a voter. Aren't you supposed to lie to me and kiss my butt?
Shout out to Mandy. I appreciate that. Yeah, I am really looking for, I am kind of pensive about what's going to happen on Tuesday. I do believe that it's probably a given that Team House, Clean House is going to win. I see no reason to believe otherwise. I've heard some people say some things that cause me to think and kind of ponder, but I'm like, I just can't see it. I just can't see it. So I'm really wondering what's going to happen when she's out of office and she no longer has the cover of the township. She no longer has the cover of being the mayor of Dolton, and she's just out there. What happens? Are the alphabet men coming to get her? Is the attorney general of Illinois coming to get her? What? Who's going to come get her? I want to know. So shout out to Mandy. Thank you so much for that, friend. All right. Now there is she did another video, dropped another receipt. I don't want to call it a receipt because this is insulting to receipts. CVS is not putting up with this foolishness. You know what I'm saying? CVS said this is not a receipt. CVS said we can show you. CVS said I can show you some receipts. All right, now this is Stan Brown. We're gonna just watch through it one time and then we'll run it back and kind of parse it out as a team. So let's do that. Yeah, I don't think she has anybody to reel her in. No, I don't think that at all. I don't think she has anybody to reel her in. Anybody that's able to help her, guide her through this. I would love to see who's her campaign team. Like, I want to see the back office. I want to see Jason House's too, by the way. I wouldn't mind seeing, like, who is your campaign team? Who, not just Team Clean House, not just Team Anti-Justice League, but who are the people behind it? Who's coordinating the phone calls? Who's coordinating the canvassing, getting the emails and lists to shoot out emails and send out mailers? I want to see who are those people? Who are those folk? Who are the people that looked at that idea and said, oh, this is a great idea to put out this rap video? I want to know who that person was and how many drinks were they in by the time they told you that. That's what I want to know. Yeah. I want, like, who told you? Like, I want to know who did that. I want to know what is the vision for Team House. I agree. And shout out, by the way, before we play that, I do want to say tomorrow, speaking of the township, tomorrow we're going to have Nate Fields Jr. on, and he is going to come on the channel. I'm going to interview him, talk to him about who he is, what's his plans, what's he about, all that kind of stuff. And he wants to take questions. So be ready with your good questions for Nate Fields. He's an independent running for Thornton Township supervisor position. So he'll be running against, I think the guy's name is Ryan, and of course, Napoleon Harris and Nate Fields Jr. So those are the 3 combatants, if you will, in the Thornton Township squabble. So please make sure you stop by tomorrow. It's going to be 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. So that's 7:00 Central Time if you're in Illinois. So that's going to be fun meeting him. I've talked to him on the phone. He seems like a great guy. He definitely seems like somebody that has potential. I'm not prognosticating. I believe he's going to win. Look, I think there's a lot of things out there, a lot of factors out there, but I do believe that him coming on and you having an opportunity to hear what he's about will definitely give you a chance to see, okay, hey, they're not just throwing yahoos out there. So anyway, yeah. Oh, you're right. He has been on the trustees page. You know what? I need to pull one of those up. Thank you so much, First Lady. As a matter of fact, how about this, First Lady? You got a homework assignment. If you have a really good one that really articulates Jason's plan, drop it and then we'll go over it over here. How about that? Thank you so much. And if not, it's okay too. I'll go check it out. Let us bring this back in and let's talk about it. Let's go.
This is just going back and forth. This is totally unfair. You guys keep throwing out there Greenwood Falls like that's the only thing that's been built. There's more things been done out here in Dolton instead of just Greenwood Falls.
Like tell us.
Like we got sidewalks out there because I deal with a lot of seniors, and we're looking at seniors got their sidewalks done in front of their homes. If a person's in a wheelchair, they can go down the streets. We got trees just falling on individual houses and roofs. If you guys were out there, you can actually see these things. This is some real stuff. So it has to be money being spent. In order to run a village, you're going to have to get bonds. You're going to have to get loans. We're not making enough money to pay the police department and fire department and public works. Those are some expensive entities that we have to pay for to run a village. So we can give out tickets and code enforcement and give out citations. That's still not enough money. We had to get some bonds. We had to borrow some money. That's automatic to run a village. Every village around is doing that. From Calumet City to beautiful South Holland, they're getting bonds. They're borrowing money. But I hear you, other trustees, and I'm not picking sides, but I'm just looking at what we're going to do. Just keep fighting and get nothing done. It's unfair to say the mayor's just spending money. Where? Where's she putting the money at? Not in her pocket. It's going out here to the residents. Yeah, we all stakeholders out here. But just look around. If you've been riding around Dalton, you can definitely see some improvement. Go from 146 in Indiana all the way over to Maple. The whole street been paved. I went down some alleys paved. My alley looked like Vietnam. Potholes and everything. But there's some other residents that's getting alleys put together. For my 33 years out here, I've never seen an alley getting paved. They had the 50-50 program. Yeah, we was jumping up hallelujah for 50-50 program. Right now, we talking about zero to the residents. Yeah, there's grants being put out here, and there's some more grants still sitting on the table to be actually utilized. But let's get what we can get now. Because all it look like it's going to be is just a fight from here on out till we get to election time. That's unfair to the residents. We fighting right now when we should be putting that money where it should be utilized at and continue taking care of residents, because we're going to have a deficit. You have to spend money. You got to spend money to run a village, but as long as you can show something for it. So what we're going to do, just keep fighting? That's what it is. Yeah, I see a power struggle right here, and it's total disrespectful. And yeah, the residents going to speak. But I say to you residents, pay attention to who you're electing in there, because they can talk smart at the meeting, but can they do something? Are they going to move the rock? Because right now, it's for residents, you're getting some good stuff. I done seen windows and roofs go up. Sidewalks, trees trimmed. People getting fed. Yeah, we need a little action out here. Yeah, I was at the roller rink the other day. It was awesome. Awesome. That's a money revenue right there. That's going to bring some kind of dollars in. Yeah, we had to spend money to put it up, but we're going to get a chance to get a few dollars back. Give it a chance. But I just say this here to you, my fellow board members. What are we doing as a whole to help bring some? Let's get on board. Just as you're doing the mayor, you got her back against the wall. What do you expect her to do? Give her some room. Give her a little room in the back so she can wiggle out and say, okay, we can sit down and come to a happy medium. But you guys are not giving no room to get to the happy medium, because he just fight. So we gonna fight till election time. If she gonna get out there and go hustle that money up, let her hustle up, bring it on back, and let's spend it. Let's spend that money. What, we gonna try and save all the money all the way through the end of the year and don't have nothing? We need to check ourselves out because we're not doing a good job as a board. But we at the point we don't even talk to each other. I used to have conversations with some of my board members. We don't talk no more, only when we come here. And I got attitude about that. Yeah, I bring you peppermints and all that. Yeah. You ask me to get one of your seniors grass cut, I go over there and get your grass cut for them. Come on. We some real live enemies with one another. We shouldn't be like that.
Okay, so all right, I'm gonna pause it. This is the Anti-Justice League advertisement. This is some people are saying this is from 2017. I'm just wondering, I gotta go back and listen to it again. Did he mention Tiffany at all? I feel like I didn't. I'm wondering, was this old? Because again, Riley Rogers was fighting with them too, so he definitely wasn't lying there. I mean, they're always toward the end of their tenure, from my understanding, it does become. Am I muted? Oh, okay. It becomes like mayor versus trustees. Even if they might have started out best friends, by the time it ends toward the end of the tenure, it usually becomes contentious. And that's what it seems like is what happened here. What happened here was that it got contentious early. But no, she was the mayor in this one. Okay, I'm sorry then. Okay. But even then, you can clearly see it was old though. That is unequivocal. So it wasn't like last Tuesday. So it definitely was an old discussion. And even in that, I don't think Stan Brown's, begging, like, let's go spend the money. I don't know if that's a good look. I don't know if that was a good look, Stan. I don't think that was the best thing. Let's go spend the money. Like, no, maybe we don't. Maybe that might be part of the problem, is that they are getting the money and they are spending it and not, first of all, looking at where you are fiscally. Are we in a good shape? Because again, y'all owe Chicago money for water. So are we taking care of the things that are important rather than saying, well, let's just go get money? Again, the mayor goes out and gets grants. The mayor goes out and gets bonds and this, that, and the other. And we come in here, we got all this money. Let's go spend money like drunk sailors. Maybe we're not supposed to do that. Maybe we don't need to do that. And even with a skating rink right here, I'm just finding it interesting. They're never talking about, well, first of all, they're not talking about the things that people are concerned about, the money spends that people are concerned about. They're talking about whatever it is that they're concerned about. These are Tiffany's quote unquote receipts. That's not a good look. But after that, I don't hear anything business wise. I've not heard anything about businesses and people being able to take care of themselves. Because to me, and I understand there's a lot of things I don't get about this township model, but cutting your grass, doing your roof and windows, like, what do these people actually, that's just a lot to me. I'm not down on them at all, but it just seemed like a lot. Like, man, they cutting down the trees, they cutting your grass, they're doing your roof, your windows. That's a lot. Paving your walkway, paving your alley. Now, I'm not saying that these are not things that towns should be responsible for, but some of those things just seem like those are home ownership issues. And with that being the case, I'm just a little bit floored. Like, how are you, full-throated, big-chested about taking care of people and not giving them ways to take care of themselves? I don't hear you talking about anything about businesses. I hear everything about what you're doing, but not getting out of the way to allow a business to come in. And, like, for example, are you impeding small businesses to be able to come out and do lawn care? Are they able to come in there and get a business license? And, I got 5 mowers and 3 trucks and we go out every day cutting grass. Are we able to do that? Or are we competing with you? Because y'all are using that as a means, as a money generator. To me, that seems problematic, though. This is I don't think this is a good look. I don't think this is at all a good look. I think the only thing that'll be worse is if she dropped that rap video. Everybody, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all so much. I'll see you all real soon. Grace and peace. Take care.